It contains 18 chapters, of which the first and the only verse is spoken by Dhritarashtra. Then there are three more speakers in this whole 700 verses. Obviously, Lord Krishna. Again, obviously, Arjun also. And then there is a fourth person. Any idea who? Sanjay. Sanjay, exactly. So only four people have spoken verses in Bhagavad Gita, right? So we start off with first chapter, first verse. My objective would be to go through each and every verse, but in a summary manner. There are various positives of going in a summary manner, but a bit fast. And there are various positives of going in detail also. Both have its own negatives also. What we can do is we will do the first chapter in a summary manner. It contains a little bit of philosophy, but not as deep as the subsequent chapters. So you tomorrow or then in the next class, you tell me which one would you prefer, going faster in a summary manner or going in depth few verses at a time in a class. Okay, there are the positives of going in summary manners. We can finish off this if we take one class per month. We can finish off in 1.5 years. Okay, but the benefit would be less compared to going in depth. Generally, these verses are so deep that I can speak for even 2 hours on every verse also. But it would be too much of information. It will take many years for us to complete 700 verses. And we are in a country where we don't know what will happen with us tomorrow, whether our job will remain, not remain, where will we be and all that. Our circumstances can change, your engagements can change. You may be able to complete only one or two or three or four chapters, not all. So one other method is to complete all of these chapters in a summary manner. And then as you feel appropriate, then we can go more and more into detail subsequently. Hmm. So we start off with one chapter or two chapters in both different manners, and then you can tell me which one would you prefer. Hmm. Anybody remembers what has happened until this particular moment? So now Krishna and Arjun are on the chariot. Both the armies are facing each other on the battlefield. Okay. And a few verses into Bhagavad Gita, precisely starting from the 21st verse, Arjun will ask Krishna to bring his chariot in between both the armies, that he wants to see both the armies together. Okay. So at this point of time, Arjun's chariot is along with Yudhishthir and other chariots. Duryodhan and Bhishma and other chariots are on the other side. But before they reach to this particular point, if you remember, we had one class and we spoke about Mahabharat reaching up to this particular point. Does anyone remember in summary what events happened until this point? Yes. Correct. Then the Pandavas, we have to go in exile. Correct. Later they come back. Then Sri Krishna asked land for them. As per their rights. If they refuse it. Correct. So then they. Correct. Yeah. In a summary, yes, very true. And then there are many people on both the sides. Like Bhim, Arjun, they also wanted war so that they can teach a lesson to these people. Plus, people like Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna also wanted a war. Okay, there were people like Bhishma, Vidur, Dronacharya who didn't want the war because they knew what would be the outcome. But then there was one person who it seemed didn't want the war, but he actually wanted the war. Who, any idea? Yes, yes. Dhritarashtra was the other way around. We'll learn about that. But Shri Krishna, yes. And we will go deeper into this particular topic. Why did Shri Krishna want the war? There are many people, meaning who then think of themselves as intelligent. They come up with questions that Krishna, if he was God, he could have averted the war. But since he did not avert the war, that means he was not God. So did Krishna really wanted to avert the war, or did Krishna really wanted the war to happen? So we will know when we go deeper into it. But in a nutshell, yes, Krishna wanted the war to happen. Okay. And one small example I'll give you for this one. Before the war was had become almost certain, Krishna went as a peace messenger to Hastinapur, right? The day before the his proposal he made to Dhritarashtra, he visited Duryodhan purposely. What did Duryodhan do? He tried to coax Krishna and tried to impress upon him so that uh, he basically favors Duryodhan and not Pandava. Okay, so he said, I have brought so many dasis for your service. I have I have perfumed the whole area and all of that. Yeah, you stay in Dushasan's palace. I have made chappan bhog for you and all that. So many things he says. And he said, you come and dine with me. Okay. Now Krishna says, I will not dine with you because dining is done only in two conditions. Either you are my friend or I am hungry. He says, neither of that I am. I will go and stay with Vidur. Now he becomes so agitated. Duryodhan was anyway a highly egoistic person. He becomes so agitated that he says that tomorrow, if he makes any nonsense proposal, I will make this person, I will capture him. Bandi bana lunga usko. Okay. So what has Krishna done? Purposely instigated him so that he does not accept the priest proposal. And you might be surprised, ऐसे कैसे कर सकता है कृष्णा? So we will go into that details. Okay, he Krishna wanted the war to happen, and even if I give the explanation to you, which we will go into deep depth in fourth chapter, the seventh and eighth verse, made famous by Mr. B.R. Chopra, and we will go deeper into it. But there is a far bigger reason to this one. Okay, there is a scripture called as Garga Samhita. Anybody knows? No. Okay. Who was Garga? Sage. And what was his designation? No. Okay. So Garga Muni, he was the dynastic priest of Kuru dynasty. Okay, the official priest. So anything that needs to be done, they used to get it done by Garga Muni, right? Garga Muni was a Trikal Darshi. Trikal Darshi meaning somebody who knew the past, present, and future. Okay. We may not discuss about this in detail because this particular story which I'm going to narrate to you comes in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Okay, in the 10th canto. So there was one king who was a excellent devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. His name was Prachina Barhi. Okay, so this Prachina Barhi, one day Narad Muni came. So one day Narad Muni came to meet Prachina Barhi because Narad Muni was a great devotee of Krishna, and devotees like to meet other devotees. So they discussed too many activities about Lord Shri Krishna. And Prachina Barhi asked him questions about what happened before Krishna advented on this earth. That is when Narad Muni told him about every event that happened before Krishna came on earth. Not many people know about this one because our knowledge revolves around what our society teaches us. Society doesn't go beyond the Mahabharata or Ramayana aspect maximum. So there are many events that happen, and in a nutshell, I have created that PowerPoint presentation. One day we will go through it. Yeah. So Mother Earth went up to Brahma asking him to eradicate the burden on earth, because there were many sinful kings ruling on earth and which were creating a lot of sinful activities and causing burden on earth. So Brahma said, Ki, this is beyond my capacity at this time. I cannot do. Let us go to Vishnu. So they go to Kshirosagar. You may have heard, okay? And they pray to Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Kshirodakshayi Vishnu comes and appears, and he says that this is not the time for me to come. Now it is the time for Krishna himself to come. And Kshirodakshayi Vishnu told Brahma, you go to Goloka Vrindavan, okay, the topmost planet, topmost Vaikuntha planet, and there Krishna will be there. You go and uh, request him. So he requests, can you also come along with us? Okay. And Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, Ganpati, Prithvi Mata, Narad Muni, and all that, everybody go to the topmost planet. Many events happen until they meet Shri Krishna. I'll not go into detail. When they meet Shri Krishna, Narad Muni tells him the various reasons, and he tells him that please can you come to earth and eradicate this burden. And Krishna laughs at that time. Narad Muni is confused. Why are you laughing? Neither saying yes nor no. Hmm? So then, while he is laughing, all the various incarnations that have happened so far start coming from the right side and start entering into the body of Krishna. Kurma, Matsya, Varaha, Narsimha, so many avatars, okay, and start entering, and everybody is confused. Everybody is surprised. What is happening? And then Krishna says, yes, I will come at the right time and I will remove the burden of this earth. Yes. No, he was Lord Krishna. Krishna. Yes. So there is a difference between Krishna and Vishnu. It's a bit too early for me to tell you this one because you may probably think, this is not what I have heard so far, and you may not come for the next class. But I will go into those details. There is a technical difference. Many people think that there is only Vishnu, but there are technically three Vishnus. Not many are aware of this one. Okay, we'll go into detail. So then he says that before I come on earth, you all should take birth in the Vrishni dynasty, Yadav dynasty, before and assist me in this whole Leela. That is when who will perform which role is already decided. Who will become Vasudev? Who will become Devaki, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mata, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, Bhishma, Arjun, Yudhishthir, all of these people, their roles are already decided. I have a long list of who was originally who and appeared as who. Okay. And then they take birth in various dynasties, various families, and then they start performing their activities, their pastimes, which is a part of the big master plan of Lord Shri Krishna himself. So many people curse Duryodhan, stating that how can he behave such nastily and bad? So we should only understand that Duryodhan was performing the role of a villain in the drama directed by Lord Shri Krishna. तो कभी कभी अमरीश पुरी या प्रेम चोपड़ा या दिस काइंड ऑफ विलन्स दे एक्ट इन अ मूवी, राइट? हम लोग बोलते हैं क्या कि अमरीश पुरी इज अ बैड पर्सन, अमिताभ बच्चन इज अ गुड पर्सन, right? Why? Because they are just playing the role. Actually, outside the screen, they are normal people. So all of these people were performing the role. Okay, they were performing the role which was allocated by Krishna, and we should look at them from an assistant of Lord Krishna more than the that role being an evil role or a good role. So this was the reason that the burden of earth was supposed to be reduced, for which Sri Krishna had appeared, and that's why the war was supposed to happen. This is reason number one. Reason number two is it would probably give a wrong signal to people like us who are living today and trying to learn from Mahabharata, to say that all of these nasty people did so many wrong things to the Pandavas and Draupadi, and still they did not get punished. So what will be the signal that will be passed on to us? That it is okay, you do anything. There is nothing called as law. There is nothing called as a lesson being taught, right? हम लोग भी जाके करेंगे ना, किसको भी मारेंगे, किसकी भी संपत्ति लूट लेंगे, कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा अपने को, right? This is not the lawlessness that the Lord wanted on earth. One of the reasons he advents on earth is dharma samsthapanarthaya. In 4.8 he says, right, Sambhavami yuge yuge. What are this? Um, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, and dharma samsthapanasa. Paritranaya sadhu meaning protection of the pious saintly people. Vinashaya cha dushkritam, destruction of the incorrect sinful people, and establishing the religion. Right. So if they are not punished, it will give a wrong signal. Thirdly, he wanted Yudhishthir to be crowned as the king, as the emperor, because Yudhishthir was a symbol of righteousness, the best, perfect, most perfect behavior. And if such a person is crowned as the king, he would always ensure that righteousness is established throughout the kingdom. So various reasons are there. So war was mandatory, war was required. And Krishna didn't want the blame of starting the war to come to Pandavas. That's why he gave all his efforts towards peace. But Duryodhan had crossed all the boundaries. And that is where his famous statement ki sui ki note ki itni bhumi nahi dunga main Pandavon ko, right? That famous statement was there, which was basically a confirmation that war was certain. Okay. So now we are at that point when the armies are there in front of each other. Okay. So on an ideal basis, we should be reading the verse and then the translation, but time may not be sufficient for us. If you prefer to read the verse, I'm more than happy to do it. But if you think that space may get impacted and you would prefer the speed to be maintained, we can skip the verse, whatever you prefer.
First chapter, let's go with the without the verse.
Without the verse?
First-
Okay.
first chapter.
Okay.
National, the second chapter, I think it would be better.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we start with verse number 1. So Dhritarashtra is speaking now. Okay. The keywords of this verse, let's understand. Dharma kshetre Kurukshetra. So in the place of Kurukshetra, which is also known as Dharma kshetra. Kshetra meaning area. Dharma kshetra is that area which is ruled by dharma, which is ruled by religion, which is ruled by righteousness. There is no sinful activity happens there. Okay. Samaveta Yuyutsava. Yuyutsava meaning fighting. And everybody has gathered. Okay, Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. Mamakaha meaning my sons. Dhritarashtra is speaking. My sons plus Pandava's sons. Pandu's sons meaning. Okay. Kim Akurvata. What did they do? Sanjay. Oh Sanjay. Okay. So what, oh Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Now think about it. The holiest of the scriptures is the starting verse is spoken by the nastiest of the people. The sole purpose, or I would say sole reason of Mahabharat was Dhritarashtra. Okay. So the meaning of Dhritarashtra, Dhrita meaning attachment. Okay. Rashtra meaning kingdom or country or area. Okay, so somebody who is very attached to Rashtra is known as Dhritarashtra. So you can see the names being given to people at their birth related to their nature, their activities that they would perform. So he was named accordingly. Okay. Now, what is wrong in this particular question? What do you think?
Rashtra already said my son.
My sons. Yes, correct, correct. Very true. So that is one. And there is one more thing that is wrong. So if you see, he is saying Samaveta Yuyutsava, desiring to fight. He already knows that they have gathered to fight. But still he is asking, what did they do? Now imagine, okay, four friends going for a movie and a fifth friend who wanted to come but could not, asking them, oh, you went to go there to watch the movie. What did you do after going there to watch the movie? What would be the obvious answer? We went to watch the movie. We watched the movie. You go to a restaurant to eat food. What did you do after going there? You eat food. What else? On a normal course of action, you will do the expected action. But when you are doubtful that this action may not happen because of XYZ reason, that is when you will ask the question.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say there is a terrorist who has planted a bomb in a restaurant and few of his friends have gone to the restaurant. He calls him, okay, you went to eat food in that restaurant. What did happen? Because he expects the bomb to explode. That's why he's asking that question. Right? Dhritarashtra also is worried from that perspective. Dhritarashtra is thinking that the opening word of this verse is Dharma Kshetre. So he knows this place, this land of pilgrimage is a pious land. There is, that when you go to a place of pilgrimage like Vrindavan or Mathura or Mayapur or Haridwar and all that, right? The place also has an effect upon you and your mentality. That is the reason why that place is called as holy. Otherwise, Mumbai will also be same as Vrindavan, right? But Vrindavan is a holy place. Mumbai is not a holy place. Mumbai is a commercial place. So the place carries its importance and has its effect on the person. So what is Dhritarashtra worried about? He wants the war to happen. He wants his own sons to win the war. Okay, for one reason. Since the time King Pandu died, he was enthroned not as a king, but as a representative of the king. He was never made the king because when it was time for him to become the king, even before Pandu was crowned, Vidur said no. A blind person cannot become a king, and his right was snatched away by Vidura. And that kept on hurting him until the very last moment that he could not be called as a king. That is the reason why he wanted his son to become the king so that he can be called as a legitimate king and not as a representative of the king. So what he was worried that Duryodhan should not throw away the opportunity that has come to fight. Otherwise, he will again have to be called as a representative of the king and not the king. Okay, Duryodhan's heart may get changed because of the effect of Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, and he may decide, okay, fine, you take half the kingdom, or you take back your kingdom, or you take those 5 villages. Right? He didn't want that to happen. He was worried that will happen. That's why he is asking, what did they do? Okay, now Sanjay starts speaking. Sanjay Uvacha. If I'm going slow, please let me know. If I'm going fast, please let me know. Huh? We will modify the pace the way we want it.
Sorry, I was not there. Can you just do a introduction about Sanjay?
Oh yeah, sure. So Sanjay, who knows who is Sanjay?
The charioteer.
Charioteer of Dhritarashtra. Correct. So what is his relevance with the war? Why is Sanjay being... Okay, excellent. So Vyasdev, who is the composer of Mahabharata. Mahabharata happened and then Vyasdev composed it. So Vyasdev, before the war actually happened, but it had become certain that the war will happen. Vyasdev came to meet Dhritarashtra to give him final words of advice, and still Vyasdev knew he will not listen to him. So then Vyasdev told him, okay, fine, you want the war to happen. I'm giving you the vision, a divine vision by which you can see what's happening on Kurukshetra and you can see the destruction with your own eyes. It was more of a curse than a boon. And then he was scared. No, 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 those children whom I have not seen since their birth, I don't want to see them in such a state dying. You better give that vision to Sanjay. and I will ask him, he will explain it to me. That is, and Sanjay is a disciple of Vyasdev. That's why he says in the 18th chapter, I think 74th or 75th verse, he says, Vyasa Prasadan Mayachyuta. Okay, so by the blessings, by the mercy of Vyasdev, he gets this vision. So both of them are sitting in Hastinapur, that is present day Delhi, whereas the war is happening in Kurukshetra, which is at least 200 kilometers away. So Sanjay Uvacha, okay, दृष्ट्वा तु पांडवानिकं व्यूढ़ं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यम उपसंगम्य राजा वचनम अब्रवीत. So let's do one thing. Let's take turn by turn and you read the translation. Yeah, you guys want to start off? Yeah, just the translation.
Sanjay said, "O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words."
Yeah. So what does Duryodhan do? Duryodhan goes up to whom?
The teacher.
Dronacharya, right? Now, quite a few points we need to understand here from, okay, before we go into deeper stuff, every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is logically divided into groups of verses, which we call as sections, okay? And every section carries a particular theme. It has its own importance. Certain topic is being discussed. So this particular chapter, we can divide in 5-6 sections or subsections, okay? The first verse, which is the opening verse of Bhagavad Gita spoken by Dhritarashtra. From second verse till the 11th verse, Duryodhan speaks, but you will not see Duryodhan Uvacha. You can see Sanjay Uvacha. Uvacha meaning said, spoke. You will not see Duryodhan Uvacha. Thankfully, Vyasdev didn't do that. Otherwise, we would have had demons speaking Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So Sanjay Uvacha is there, but Sanjay is narrating what Duryodhan spoke to Dronacharya on the battlefield. So from 12th till the 20th verse, we can see the signs of victory of Pandavas. Okay, you'll be surprised that even before the war started, the signs of victory of Pandavas are already being spoken out here. Then from the 21st verse till the 27th verse, first Arjun speaks, then Sanjay speaks. And both are talking about what Arjun sees on the battlefield on both the armies, till the 27th verse. Okay. Okay, one more thing. Because we are in Kali Yuga, our memories are very bad. There is a good chance that before you exit the day today, you will forget what I have spoken. Okay. So it is always better you carry a book and a pen, take notes. Okay, these notes are for you. Okay, these notes are for you. The way you want to take it, you can take it. Because I have spoken for on this chapter at least 25-30 times, it's by heart to me. Okay, but you may forget. So it is always good for you to take notes. More importantly, it's not for me. More importantly, it will be how you see this seriously. If you are serious about studying Bhagavad Gita, you should take notes. Okay. So from the 28th verse till the 45th verse, Arjun raises 4 concerns or 4 questions to Krishna. And he gives his reasons why he should not fight. 4. And in the 46th verse, Sanjay closes the chapter telling Dhritarashtra that Arjun has kept his bow and arrow aside and he has sat down on the chariot, determined not to fight the war. And Dhritarashtra is very happy. And in the second chapter, in the verse 6 and 7, Arjun gives his 5th reason not to fight. And after that, the superhero then starts speaking. And then he goes on until the end of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, questions by Arjuna and are there in that. But that is when the main person of Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata takes over. Until then, Krishna is just hearing, watching everything. So now what he is doing, Duryodhan, he has reached out to Dronacharya and he is telling how the military of Pandavas have been arranged. Okay. Why is he surprised? Any idea? So now two cricket teams are about to start the match. One vice captain comes to the captain, or one captain goes to the vice captain or the coach, sitting there, see how they have organized themselves. What does it indicate? There is organized well, but why? Worried. Exactly. They're worried. So Duryodhan is worried. Why is Duryodhan worried? Any guesses? Uh, Good point you brought in, but Duryodhana's army was larger than Pandava's army. Okay. We'll come to that. Huh? So the measurement of army or the count of people or elephants or horses in an army was counted by this unit called as Akshauhini. Okay. So Duryodhan had 11 Akshauhini army and Pandavas had 7 Akshauhini army. One Akshauhini army contains 21,570 horses, 21,570 elephants, and 65,570 infantry. And 21,570. Same. Okay. So for every horse, there is another soldier. For every elephant, there. So this is one unit. So the ratio was 11:7. So should Duryodhan be worried or not? Yeah. Yeah. So then why was Duryodhan worried? He was not expecting exactly. And why was he not expecting? Because he had the confidence from two perspectives. He knew that people like Bhishma and Dronacharya and Karna are excellent warriors and their loyalty to Hastinapur is proven without doubt. And they are fighting on his side. And because of that, he was confident of winning. On top of that one, can I get water? On top of that one, thank you. Few meaning starting from those years where they lost their kingdom, Duryodhan has been insulting them or in different manners trying to belittle them and communicate to them in some or the other manner that you are inferior to me in terms of strength. Okay. And just the kind of just before the war was confirmed, Duryodhan had sent this person named as Ulluk. Ulluk was the son of Shakuni as a messenger to the Pandavas, and a scathing attack of insult was done by Ulluk, meaning all those were Duryodhan and Karna's words. And they were like, telling Bhima that you can claim to be the strongest person, but see what I did. I made you a cook in somebody's kitchen. And to Arjun, he said, you claim to be the greatest archer, but see what I did. You had to teach dance to somebody or something like that, meaning very insulting words. So what Duryodhan thought was, after all of this, their confidence would be shattered. And when your confidence shatters, what do? You will arrange the military in a defensive manner. But their military was arranged in an attacking manner. And that's what surprised Duryodhan. So with that surprise, then he's saying, Vyudham Duryodhanastada. Okay, Acharyam upasangamya Raja Vachanam Bravit. Okay. Now here the word Raja carries multiple meanings. Okay. By saying Raja, Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra that, O Raja, O King, and he gives the address. There is another meaning that to please Dhritarashtra, the Sanjay is addressing Duryodhan as Raja. And the Raja is speaking to Dronacharya. Then verse number 3, who will read the translation? Dronacharya and not, yeah. So, any guesses why he went up to Dronacharya? Now, actually, Bhishma was the commander in chief, right? No, no. Why did he go to Dronacharya and not Bhishma? Guru, yes, correct. But there is another purpose behind it. And we will see this in verse number 3. Okay, we'll see that. So just read the translation. Okay. Okay. Drupad. Okay. Who is Drupad? And who is he? What is his relation? Father of Draupadi. Correct. Father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. Correct. Yeah. So why is he being mentioned here? So Duryodhan, we should know that he is a very cunning person, but he is diplomatic also, and he generates pleasure by insulting people. Okay, so do you see any insult here? Now he has approached whom? Dronacharya. Now he is speaking to Dronacharya, right? Saying that by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Who is the son of Drupad? Drishtadyumna. So Drishtadyumna is who? Relate what? Yes, that's correct. But who is he? That's okay. What is his role? Pandavas. Yeah, yeah, correct. But what is his role?
He's fighting.
He's the commander in chief for the Pandava Sena, right? So 7 Akshauhinis on the Pandav side. Every Akshauhini had one commander, but Drishtadyumna was the commander in chief. So in addition to Drishtadyumna, there are 6 more commanders. Hmm? Now, being commander in chief, he was the one responsible for arranging the whole army, and that is what surprised Duryodhan. And that is when he walks up to or goes to Dronacharya and saying, the son of Drupad, he doesn't take his name Drishtadyumna. Why did he do that? Okay, so when Dronacharya and Drupad were boys and were taking education, Drupad, both of them had become great friends with each other. And Drupad told one day that whatever is mine, half of that is yours. Okay. So one day, Dronacharya, after he got married to Krupi, Krupi is the sister of Kripacharya. You know who Kripacharya is? Kripacharya was the Kulaguru of the Kuru dynasty. Kuru Vansh, correct. Right? So Kripacharya's sister became Dronacharya's wife, Krupi. And from them, they had this son named Ashwathama. Okay. So one day, Ashwathama was asking for milk and they did not have anything. They were very poor Brahmins. This was before he was allocated the job of training the Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay. So he had absolutely no income. So when Ashwathama used to go and play with the other sons, okay, the other sons used to feel that he hasn't had any milk or something like that. So what the Krupi used to do was, if she was cooking rice, that rice water she used to touch his lips, that would make it feel as if he has drank actual milk, and then he used to go and play with the other children, which used to hurt Dronacharya a lot. So one day, after a while, he was unable to bear it. So he thought, okay, let me go to my friend and ask me for half of that kingdom, and that will help me maintain my family. So when he goes up to Drupad, Drupad forgets his promise and he insults Dronacharya And he tells him that at least before opening your mouth, you should have seen difference between my and your position, and then based on that, you should have asked for. Eh? So he insults and he asks him to go away. So Dronacharya gets insulted, he comes back and somehow he manages. Okay. After the education of Pandavas and Kauravas was completed, when it came time for Guru Dakshina, first Dronacharya tells Duryodhan and his brothers to go and capture Drupad and bring him. Drupad, because of his great army, he defeats all of them completely, and Duryodhan comes humiliated. He couldn't succeed. Then Pandavas go, and Arjun defeats Drupad, and they capture him and bring him. At that time, when a king gets captured, automatically his kingdom becomes the property of the one who captures him. But Dronacharya remembers these words and he says, okay, fine, whatever I have captured, half of that is yours. You take it and you go. And the half he retains. Okay. And that insults Drupad a lot. So what Drupad does, he approaches a sage. There's a long story and I'll just summarize it. He approaches a sage and asks for a boon, a son which will be capable of killing Dronacharya. Okay. Then they do a lot of yagya and everything. And from that, there is another reason behind it. Instead of just one son, Draupadi comes out and Drishtadyumna also comes out of the yagya, of the fire. And when Drishtadyumna comes, now he has to learn military warfare. Who could be a better coach than Dronacharya? So Drupad, knowing well his intentions, despite that he still brings into Dronacharya. And Dronacharya, because of his Brahminical powers, Dronacharya also could very well understand the intentions of Drupad. Despite that, he teaches him. And just before the war was about to start, Drupad and Drishtadyumna happened to meet Dronacharya, and Drupad asked Drishtadyumna to touch his feet and ask for his blessings. And Dronacharya gives him blessings, whatever you wish will happen. Okay, that was the magnanimity of people like Dronacharya. Now, what Duryodhan is pointing out is, despite you knowing very well that this person is fighting against you, despite you knowing very well that he is going to kill you, is born to kill you, despite that you taught him military warfare, and now see he has arranged the military in such a manner that now he is standing in front of you. That is why the son of Drupad and your intelligent disciple. Okay. So all of these, there is a big event or a history behind each and every word. Now, all of this, what you see, this is still at a very basic level. When you start reading the verses of when spoken by Krishna, then each and every word carries a huge amount of meaning. You will be surprised and you will be amazed by that depth of the meaning. Okay, verse number 4. Read the translation.
Yes.
Drupad. Yes. So how these words are to be pronounced, you see a dot below the T, then it is to be spoken as T, not T. Hmm? So T meaning total. So T will that total tomato. And you see a dash above the alphabet A, that should be spoken as A, not A. Hmm? That's why you dha no. Huh? Huh? Okay, fine. So we'll quickly just try and understand who is Yuyudhan. Anybody knows? No. Anybody knows who Satyaki is? Who? Okay. Okay. So Satyaki was another companion of Lord Krishna. He was one such fighter who had not lost a single war or a single battle throughout his life. Okay. He learned many martial art techniques, sorry, not military warfare techniques through Arjun. So he used to consider Arjun also as his guru. Okay. He was specifically important because on the 14th day of the war, he had a great fight with one another warrior named as Bahalik. And then Bahalik had his son named as Somadatta, whose name also comes here, something like that. So he was important. Then Virat. Who is Virat? Any guesses? Excellent, excellent. And so fine, they stayed in palace of Virat, but what was his relationship with the war? Okay. Huh?
Relatives,
What? How?
sisters, sisters and
Nah. So Virat had one son, one daughter. The name of the son was Uttar, and the name of the daughter was Uttara. Uttara. Who is Uttara?
Oh, Parikshit's mother.
Parikshit's mother. Very good. And what is the father's name? Abhimanyu. And who is Abhimanyu? Arjuna's son. Okay. So that is how the relationship is there. Okay. Now, so, and who is Drupad? Father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna, right? So there are great fighters like this. That is what he is saying. Okay. Let's move on. Yes. Will you read? No? Okay. Okay. You want to read?
You want to read? There are also. Okay.
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 There were also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishta, Ketu, Ketikam,
Chekitan.
Kalidaja, Purujit, Kuntibhoj, and Shaldu.
Okay, I'll not go into depth of each and every of these names. They carry zero relevance with the subsequent verses of Bhagavad Gita. Just one or two. Okay. Just one or two liners about them. Drishtaketu or Chekitana. Okay, let's talk about Chekitana. Chekitana was the son of Shishupal. Right? Aren't you surprised? He is talking about whose army now? Duryodhana is talking about whose army? Pandavas. So he is talking about the warriors of Pandavas army. So Chekitana is being talked about as part of Pandavas army. But he is the son of Shishupal. Shishupal was who? Killed by Krishna. Right? So somebody killed by Krishna, his son is fighting on behalf of Pandavas. It's surprising, right? Okay. So what exactly happened during the Rajasuya Yajna? There's a big story of Shishupal. I'll not go into it now. So Shishupal abused Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna killed him by his Sudarshan Chakra, but Shri Krishna purposely killed him in such a manner that not a single drop of blood fell into that arena where the yajna was happening. Why? Because otherwise the whole place will get spoiled and it will be a impact on the yajna. At that point of time, Chekitana, who is the son of Shishupal, was also present over there. He thought, he became scared and he thought, now I will also be killed because I am the son of his father. So Yudhishthir went up to him, he pacified him, gave him confidence and said, I have no enmity with you. Okay, you will not be harmed in any way. After the Rajasuya Yajna was done, Yudhishthir crowned him as the king of Chedi, who was meaning on his father's place. Now, when Chekitana realized the foolish activities that Shishupal had conducted, that is when he realized that the punishment given was proper, and that is when he sided with Pandavas. Okay. Kashiraj, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and all that were various kings. Kashiraj was the king of Kachi. Kunti Bhoj was the father of Kunti Mata. Okay, Shaibya was the son of King Shibi. Shibi, you might have heard, who was the great king known for his donor behavior. Okay. Yudhamanu. Okay, wait, I'll not chant the verse. Okay, you want to read? Yudhamanyu.
or the son of all these warriors are
Great fighters,
great.
chariot fighters. Okay. So one person, the Saubhadra is a name which is basically son of Subhadra. Who is the son of Subhadra? Yeah, who is the son of Subhadra? Just now we spoke his name, Abhimanyu, right? So son of Subhadra. Uh, yeah, correct. Yeah. So son of uh, okay. Let's move on. Okay. You want to read?
Yeah. But for your information, O best of Brahmana, uh, let me tell you about the captains who was especially qualified to lead my military forces.
So now you see a bit of a shift has happened. Verse number 3 till verse number 6, Duryodhan speaks about the military formation and the warriors of Pandav army. 7th is when he switches, and from 8th till 11th, he speaks about the Kaurava army, right? So he is about to say, oh, best of the Brahmanas. Okay. So now why is he doing that? Any guesses?
To please,
To please?
to please,
The Dhritarashtra is not there in the picture. Okay. So Dronacharya doesn't need to be pleased. He is actually pleasing the warriors on his side. What would you think? Let's say you are playing in a cricket team. Okay. And your captain is praising the other side. Oh, what a great bowler. Oh, what a great batsman. This great captain. This all the 11 people of the other cricket team are being praised by your captain. What will you think? My captain has got scared. He's lost his confidence. He's almost lost the battle now itself. So Duryodhana understands that. He's a great diplomatic person. So what he's doing to bring up the morale and to show that he is not afraid, he is now appreciating the his own people now. Okay. So now whom does he start talking about? You want to read?
Personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, is from Somadakta called
Bhurishrava. Bhurishrava.
who are always victorious in battle.
Okay. So few points to be understood here. Bhavan meaning yourself. That means he's talking about Dronacharya. So actually commander in chief is Bhishma. Should ideally be taking the name of Bhishma before Dronacharya, but he doesn't do that for two reasons. Dronacharya may get offended. Okay. Bhishma may not get offended. Second reason, Dronacharya was a Brahmin. Okay. Supposed to be getting more importance or respect than a Kshatriya who is Bhishma. So that's why he takes Dronacharya's name first. Karna is not there on the battlefield, but still he takes Karna's name because he knows his might and he knows if not today, tomorrow he will come. Okay. And Vikarna. Any guesses who Vikarna is? Karna's brother is Vikarna, is it? No. So Vikarna was the 100th, no, not 100th. Vikarna was the uh, step brother of Duryodhana. The only person from the Kaurav side who stood up and spoke against Duryodhana during Draupadi Chirharan. Okay. Why did he take his name? Again, a diplomatic reason that he was trying to give him extra importance, although from a battlefield or a military warfare perspective, he was nobody. Okay. But because he shouldn't switch sides, that's why he was accorded some importance so that he remains stuck with him. Politics. Yes. Okay. You want to read?
And prophet, and all are experienced in military.
Yeah. So now what would happen? Let's say you are the captain of a cricket team. Okay, you appreciate only 3-4 people in your team. Other 5-6 people will think, यार हमारी तो कोई value ही नहीं है. So now that's why the others are also being appreciated. Anyecha bahava shura. Many people are there in my team, who are ready to lay down their lives for my sake. Okay. So everybody feels, yeah, he considers me also. Okay. But there is a technical mistake in this particular verse. Now, Duryodhana is a scholarly person, at least from a Sanskrit language perspective, right? But he uses the word mad arthe tyakta jivitaha. This Sanskrit phrase technically is incorrect because it is spoken in the past tense. What ideally the translation says are prepared to lay down the lives for my sakes, meaning it should be spoken in the future tense. But this is a technical error. It talks in past tense, where Saraswati Mata sitting on the tongue of Duryodhan is speaking something which should make him realize what is going to happen in the future. So this, he is saying they are already dead, already died. And when we reach to the 11th chapter in the Vishwarup, when Krishna is showing his Vishwarup, Arjuna is seeing that. Arjuna is saying, I can see Karna, I can see Jayadrath, I can so see Duryodhan going into your mouth, even before the war has started. So this is that indication here. Okay, text 10. Yes.
Strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
Yeah. So now comparison has started happening. Now I have described Pandav's army, I have described Kaurav army. I know my strength is immeasurable. Why? Because compared to Bhishma, Bhima is like a अंजीर फिग बोलते हैं उसको है वो मसल के रख देगा types. Okay, so and that is the reason why he has this confidence. Now we just imagine a scenario. Many people say, yeah, Bhishma is supposed to be such a great person, philosophically very knowledgeable person. But why did he fight when he knew that Duryodhan is wrong? Why did he fight on the side of Duryodhan? Why did Dronacharya fight on the side of Duryodhan? It is only because Duryodhan should get that confidence that he can win the war was the reason they were made to fight the war by attaching them to some kind of vows or some kind of, favors done by the Kuru dynasty to them. Imagine a scenario. Would Duryodhan dare to fight the war if Bhishma and Drona were on the side of Pandavas? Right? When Krishna went there for asking for 5 villages, वो 50 दे देता. पूरा kingdom मेरा भी ले लो. वो types. Okay. This is the reason to give that unnecessary extra confidence so that he purposely dives into the fire and burns himself. This war can be considered as a ahuti. Okay. So he is thinking that ये भीम क्या protect करेगा उनको? Why Bhim is being used? Although Bhima is not the commander in chief. Drishtadyumna is, but he is not the greatest of the fighters also. Arjuna is. Nor is he the king also like Yudhishthir. But still Bhima is dead because from a strength perspective, Bhima is the greatest. So the greatest of the strength holder or the strongest of the Pandava army is compared to the greatest of the or the strongest of the Kaurava army, and then he says ki kya protection there. Okay. Now this is the last verse which is spoken by Duryodhan. So let's read that. Yeah, you want to read? Yeah, please.
All of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance to the phalanx of the army.
Yeah. Phalanx meaning there are entry points to every army. You have small units of every army which capture strategic points. Okay? That is called as phalanx. Now, anybody and everybody who may have felt kind of ignored by Duryodhan now gets satisfaction that he is considered important here, because Bhishma is the foremost of the warrior. So your contribution to the fight can come in the form of supporting Bhishma also. Now, now comes another section, the 12th verse. Okay, we will read that. Now, what does Bhishma do? So many things Duryodhan spoke to Dronacharya, but you don't see a single verse where Dronacharya directly or indirectly speaks as a response to Duryodhan. Okay, neither does Bhishma speak. Why? Any guesses? Because Duryodhan deserved being ignored from the perspective of Bhishma and all. They know they are going to lose the war. They also know they are fighting on the wrong side. They also know the qualities and characteristics of Duryodhan. That's why both of them chose to ignore him and continue with their actions. After speaking all of this, Bhishma then starts blowing the conch shell, which was the indication of the start of the war. Okay, who can read? Want to read?
Making sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
So Duryodhan wanted the war to happen. उसको एक तो खुजली भी बहुत थी अपनी strength के बारे में. And that's why when these conch shells were being, he had that fear that his father may not give the permission for the war. तो जब war की permission मिली तो खुश हुआ ही, और अभी conch shell मिला तो बस, now there is point of no return also crossed over. So he gets that joy कि पापा हाँ अभी war होगा. So Bhishma is blowing the conch shell, which indicates war is certain now. Okay. Now, okay, let's read the next one, then I'll speak. Yeah. Humorous, yes. Okay, so imagine a conch shell. Have you blown a conch shell or seen or heard people be? So you know how the sound is, right? It's very loud. So imagine hundreds and thousands of conch shells, and not just that, trumpets and drums and bugles. You know what a bugle is? So a cow or a buffalo, उनका जो horn होता है, उसके through बनाते हैं. Okay. So all of this being sounded, तो कितना आवाज हो रहेगा, say? So, okay. Then who can read? Yes.
Founded their transcendental conscious.
Yes. Yes, I'll come to it. Yeah, this is one word you should remember throughout Bhagavad Gita and the meaning of that. I'll come to it. Okay. Now, have you seen a Hindi movie or a South Indian movie? Okay, and the entry of the hero कैसे होती है? हाँ, वैसे होती है, पूरा ड्रामेटिक होती है एंट्री, है ना? Like camera will start from the feet, उसके white color के shoes, white color की पैंट, white color का shirt, and then the black goggles वगैरह, right? ऐसा आएगा and then दिखाएगा, है ना? रजनीकांत रहेगा तो चश्मा पहनेगा, सिगरेट वगैरह भी. What does it indicate to us? That they are the main characters of this, right? हमारे ऐसा होगा तो क्या कोरियोग्राफी में कहीं पे कोरस में कहीं पे रहेंगे हम लोग, कैमरा भी नहीं आएगा अपने पे, राइट? बट बिकॉज दे आर द सुप्रीम, द बेस्ट ऑफ द चैरियट, द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड एंड द सुप्रीम डिवोटी इज देयर ऑन द चैरियट. ओके, एक ही वर्ष में काफी आए हैं. दिव्य शंख, दिव्य. ओके, व्हाट डज इट मीन? दिव्य मीनिंग डिवाइन. Divine meaning it is something which is not made up of matter. Earth, water, air, fire, ether से बना हुआ नहीं है. It is divya. It is coming directly from the spiritual sky. ये ऐसा है वो. And श्वेतैर हयैर युक्ते, meaning the horses which are yoked to the chariot, they are white color. एंड ऐसा पूरा ऐसा कैमरा ऐसा ऊपर जा रहा है. ओके, द सुपर हीरो दैट इज लॉर्ड श्री कृष्णा एंड द सुपर डिवोटी, वो उधर चैरियट पे बैठे हैं. एंड दे हैव आल्सो नाउ सी these verses from the 12th till the 20th verses are giving 9 signs of victory of the Pandavas. One of them, or three of them are in this verse itself. Firstly the three nahi, four hai isme. Firstly the chariot. This chariot has been given by Agni Dev to Arjun. Anybody knows uski katha? Nahi? Okay. Okay. Um, थोड़ी लॉन्ग है ये स्टोरी. आई एम जस्ट वरीड वेदर वी विल बी एबल टू कंप्लीट आवर स्केड्यूल्ड वर्सेस. हाँ, ये हम लोग हाँ ये कर लेते हैं इफ टाइम परमिट्स में बोलता हूँ. बट चैरियट वाज गिफ्टेड बाय लॉर्ड अग्नि टू अर्जुन. व्हेनेवर यू रिमेंबर, व्हेनेवर टाइम परमिट्स, जस्ट रिमाइंड मी, मैं बात करूंगा. देन माधव. हु इज माधव? एंड व्हाई इज ही कॉल्ड माधव? यस, बट व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस बिहाइंड द नेम? नहीं, he is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Who is goddess of fortune? Lakshmi Mata, right? Husband of Lakshmi Mata is Madhav. So Lakshmi Mata का importance क्या है इसमें? Lakshmi Mata never leaves the chest of Vishnu or Shri Krishna. She is always seated there. तो जहां पे लक्ष्मी है वहां पे फॉर्चून है, जहां पे लक्ष्मी नहीं है वहां पे फॉर्चून नहीं है. So now, if you win the war and if Lakshmi is not there, what fortune do you have? Because Lakshmi will constantly be there with Krishna. And where is Krishna? On the side of Pandavas. And because dharma, the truthfulness and religiosity are on the side of Pandavas, Krishna is there with them. So now you can imagine that war ki victory kiski hogi? When Bhishma blew the conch shell, his conch shell did not have an adjective of Divya. This Divya is there for the Shankha, the conch shell blown by Arjuna and Krishna, right? So chariot ho gaya, Madhav ho gaya, Divya Shankha ho gaya, and the I think ye teen ho gaya abhi, correct. Even the white horses were also given by Varun Dev to Arjun. Now, next verse, who can read?
On Panchalinya, Arjuna blew his Devadatta and Bhima, the voracious eater and the performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called
Poundra.
I don't know.
Okay. No, wait. So, so the names of the conch shells have been given here. The conch shells blown by Bhishma or other Kauravas are not mentioned anywhere. Okay. So Panchajanya, Devadatta, and Poundra, three are named here. Okay. Now translation. Yeah.
Vishnu, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell. The Ananta Vijay and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Suboshan. And
Manipushpa.
the great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Sikandi, Vishnudaman, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and the other kings and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Surabhira, all blew their respective conch shells.
So one thing to be noticed here is only the 5 conch shells of Pandavas and the conch shell of Krishna, their names have been given. Not that others did not have names, but Sanjay did not bother to name them because they were irrelevant. Now what happens? Okay, conch shells have been blown. Now what happens? You want to read? Uproarious.
it shouted words of the form of Kurukshetra.
This is the key point here. Okay. The objective is not to show who blew which conch shell or how many blew their conch shells or how much sound or how much sound was there in the sky. Objective is for Sanjay to convey that these conch shells shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Yeah, the sound was divine. Okay, it gave a signal to them that there is something which is not good for them is going to happen. But when the Kauravas or even Bhishma, when he blew the conch shell, nothing is mentioned about the hearts of Pandavas being shattered. This is another indication of the sign of victory.
But this one, Sanjay is narrating.
This is Sanjay Uvacha. Yes.
He could have hidden this part.
Yeah, but he did not hide.
He's a narrator.
He's a narrator.
He isn't. He hid when the call. The same thing constant.
No, it's not. He didn't hide it. It was irrelevant because it actually did not happen.
What he was spoken to Dhritarashtra, so he is telling it to Dhritarashtra. See, this is what is happening. Like, he's purposely mentioning because he wants to give that message.
Correct. And this is another attempt. If you look at the course of Bhagavad Gita, you will see at the end of Bhagavad Gita, the absolute last verse of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Sanjay. Right? He says that wherever there is Lord Shri Krishna and wherever there is Lord Arjun, the victory, morality, principles, everything is on that side. Yeah. So what he is saying is, he is a very moral person. He understands the mistakes committed by Dhritarashtra. And as a loyal servant of the king, he doesn't want his king to be defeated and his sons to be killed. So this is one attempt from his side, Sanjay's side, to let Dhritarashtra know what is going to happen. So that if not completely late, at least during the middle of the war, he can at least stop the war from happening. Okay, now this particular verse before Arjun starts speaking. Okay, 20th verse. Who can read? Yeah. You want to read?
Of Pandavas seated in the chariot, bearing the flag, making with the Hanuman to come to his bow
And prepare to shoot the darkness.
Okay. No, you can read.
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Okay. So, Kapidhwaja is the word used here. Kapidhwaja, Kapi is monkey. Who is the monkey? Hanuman, right? Hanuman was seated or present, I would say, on the flag of Arjun. Why was he doing that? Because Hanuman was the loyal servant of Lord Ram, who had assisted Lord Ram in his fight against Ravan, helping him gain victory. So this is another sign of victory, that wherever Hanuman is, victory would be there, right? And Arjun seated in the chariot, again spoken about the chariot given by Agnidev. His bow and arrows were also given by Varun Dev to him. Okay. Now Arjun starts speaking. Okay. So now if you see, there are two names given to the first chapter. One is called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Okay. The Arjun has, meaning, reasons not to fight. And the other one is Sainya Niriksha Yoga. Sainya Niriksha Yoga, which means observing the armies of the battlefield. So if you see, the chapter title was Observing the Armies of the Battlefield. So in the English one, this is the name, but in the Sanskrit version, Sainya Niriksha, Arjun Vishad Yoga is there. Okay. Actually, if you see, observing the armies of the battlefield, the first part of it, which is observance by Duryodhan and Sanjay, they end at verse 20. Now Arjun starts observing. He will observe and speak until verse 23. Then again Sanjay will communicate to Dhritarashtra what Arjun is observing from verse 24 to 27. So from verse 21 to 27, again it's the observance by Arjuna, spoken by Arjun and spoken by Sanjay. Okay. So let's read this now. 21 and 22 together. Who will read? Who want to read?
Desire to fight and with whom I must end in this great trial of armies.
Okay. Senayor Ubhayor Madhye, meaning take my chariot to the middle of the army. Ratham Sthapaya. Ratham is chariot, Sthapaya is to take it over there. Oh Achyuta. Achyuta. Who is Achyuta? Okay. What is the meaning of Achyuta?
Spoil
That is Akshar. That is Akshar. Achyuta is different. Nahi, nahi. That is Chut and Achut. This is Achyuta. Okay. Who cannot fall down from his position. That is Achyuta. Okay. Now throughout Bhagavad Gita, you will see either Sanjay calling Arjun or Krishna by a certain name, or Arjun calling Krishna by a certain name, or Krishna calling Arjun by a certain name. Okay. Each of those names, they carry some significance. Context sensitive है वो name. Okay. And then we should understand why that. अभी कृष्णा के हजारों नाम है ना. Why specifically Achyuta? Why not Madhav in this case? Why was Madhav spoken previously and why not Achyut was spoken previously? Excellent point. Yes. So what makes it? What is so bad about that? Correct. Excellent. Excellent. So what is the problem in Krishna? Arjun giving order to Krishna. Correct. Yes. His position. Perfect. Perfect. So isme we need to understand from a cultural context perspective. Okay. So a charioteer was less respected by the king. Okay. ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको मतलब कुत्ते की तरह ट्रीट करते हैं, वैसा नहीं है. But then a king would treat another king at par, right? But a king would treat his charioteer below a certain level. Okay. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? कृष्णा इज द charioteer, yes, but ठीक है, तो फिर भी क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Yes, correct. So, but Lord Krishna is the one who has accepted the role, right? अगर तुमको ये रिस्पेक्ट का प्रॉब्लम था तो why did you accept the role? हाँ, तो इधर we need to understand certain things here. So imagine the king is standing behind the charioteer, and he has both his hands occupied with the bow and arrow. Okay. Now there are three methods by which the king indicates to the charioteer which direction the chariot should go. First is verbal, right? अभी इतना साउंड हो रहा है बैटलफील्ड पे, गदाओं का आवाज आ रहा है, people are crying because they are hurt, arrows and bows का आवाज आ रहा है, so many sounds are coming. The probability that your charioteer will be able to hear you from a distance of 2 feet, 4 feet is low. तो अभी क्या करना है? So the verbal method is not usable. The other method is कि भैया जरा यहाँ चलो, right? But both the hands are occupied, so that will not work. वो उसको ही मारने का, left side, right side. नहीं. So what is the third method available now? Legs. So you can imagine. You have to understand the depth and gravity of this one. तो अभी तक हम लोग ने भगवान कौन है वो देखा नहीं है. हाँ, मैंने एटलीस्ट बिकॉज मैं भगवत गीता थोड़ा सीख चुका हूँ, इसके लिए आई अंडरस्टैंड कि भगवान कौन है एंड बाकी के लोग कौन है. ओके, एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वी आर स्टिल लर्निंग. So you, for you, according to you, it could be that, hi, yaar, he is one of the many, many. Okay, but he is not that. So the supreme, the most supreme, just to give you an idea, in the verse 8 of chapter 10, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. I am the creator of the spiritual and the material world. You can imagine, आज हम लोग पंत प्रधान मोदी को भी बोलेंगे नहीं, यार चल मेरा चैरियट उधर लेके चल. Right? मोदी तो कौन है? He is going to die anyway one day. A normal human being है. He is not created India. He has not created the world. But there is one person who has created the whole of the material world. पूरा ब्रह्मांड, पूरा spiritual world create किया है. And ऐसा बंदा, हाँ, उसको वो बोल रहा है कि चल मेरा chariot उधर लेके चल. So the Supreme Lord is being ordered by Arjun. That's why the word Achyut is coming, that despite you being ordered by the Arjun, you still remain the supreme. You cannot fall down from your position. You are the greatest. हाँ, आप यशोदा के घर का माखन भी चुराओगे, हाँ, या यशोदा की जो काठी है उसको देख के आप आंखों से आंसू भी आएंगे, उसके डर के मारे आप भागोगे पूरे गार्डन में, हाँ, गोपियों के साथ गाना गाओगे, हाँ, इसके घर में जाके माखन चुराओगे, ये करोगे वो करोगे, स्टिल यू आर द सुप्रीम. You cannot fall down from your position, and that is the reason this word achyuta is coming here, to indicate that you are the supreme despite being the charioteer of Arjuna. Yeah. Precisely the reason why Arjun was also feeling sorry about it. But Lord Krishna did not take any offense for that. And that is what surprises Sanjay also. That despite being kicked on the right side to indicate the direction of being taken to the right, or despite being kicked on the left side to take the direction on the left side, Krishna is still the supreme. Yeah, you can imagine. So what he is saying, I want to see who has come to fight. Okay. Okay. Who's reading? Mata, you were left.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let me see who have come here to fight. Wishing to please the evil-minded son of
Dhritarashtra. Thank you so much. Yeah. So now it is Arjun is telling Krishna, once you take it, this is my requirement. I want to see them. So you might see the word Pashya, that is to see. Okay. Coming multiple times in these few verses, and we will speak about that. Okay, Pashya will come here. Okay, it's not come here. So Pashya will start here. Okay. Okay, now Sanjay starts speaking. Okay, who will read? Yes, we'll start from you again. Did I miss out anybody? No, everybody read it. Sorry. You want to read? Yeah, read. Right. So now Sanjay is communicating to Dhritarashtra what is Arjuna's request and what is Krishna's response to that request. Okay. So now you will see there are 2-3 names of Krishna and Arjun coming here. Okay. First, Rishikesho. So that means Rishikesh. That is another name of Krishna coming here. What is the meaning of the name Rishikesh? Any idea? No. So Rishika means senses. Okay. And Rishikesha meaning the controller of the senses. Okay. So who is saying who is the controller of the senses? Krishna. And why? Meaning despite he being ordered, okay, despite he being the meaning executor of the request of this one, he is still the controller of our senses. Huh? Yes, he is Krishna, he is the supreme. Okay. And Gudakeshena. What does it mean? Gudakeshena. Who is being addressed here using the word Gudakesh or using the name Gudakeshena? Arjun, yes. Why? What is the significance of this one? So Arjun's name is Gudakesh. Ish meaning controller. Gudaka meaning what? Gudaka meaning sleep. Okay, sleep. Okay, sleep is the symbol of ignorance. Okay, so you know these three modes of material nature: Sattva gun, Rajogun. Yes. So Sattva gun means goodness in English, Rajogun means passion, and Tamogun meaning ignorance. Right. So these are the three modes of material nature. A very, very deep topic this is. We will cover this in great detail in the 14th and 17th chapter. Okay. But basically, when you sleep too much, it is said that the mode of ignorance is playing a big role in that. Arjun, just a night before the war started, Arjun had done a lot of tapasya and was able to impress upon Durga Mata also. Okay, and that is where Durga Mata gave him a boon, which we'll talk about it. And Arjun, many years back when he was a child, one day he went to Bhima's room, and Bhim used to like eating a lot. So he used to cook also for himself. One day he went over there and Bhima had cooked kheer, and Bhima served himself and Arjun also. This was when they were seated with, they were learning along with Dronacharya. And a gush of wind came and it blew the candle and they were not able to see anything. But Bhim continued to eat. And Arjun asked him, Arey, it's completely dark, but how can you still continue to eat? How is it that your hand still goes to the mouth properly? So then Bhim said, practice, Arjun, constant practice of eating has given me that ability. Now we all are laughing here at this statement, but Arjun didn't laugh. Arjun took that as a lesson. And he said, that means constant practice is required for me to become the best archer in the world. So irrespective of the time of the day, he continued practicing archery. And that is where he gained control over his sleep also, because of which he earned the name called Gudakesh. So now Rathottamam, the best chariot in the whole army, both the armies, is because Lord Krishna was there on that chariot. Okay. Yes.
In the presence of Krishna, Drona and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled.
Okay. Now, Krishna hasn't spoken a single verse in the first chapter. He starts speaking as the Bhagwan from the 11th verse, but as the friend of Arjun from the second verse itself. Okay. But there is this indirect statement that Krishna speaks in the first chapter. That's why you says Uvacha Partha Pashaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Uvacha who? Krishna. To whom? to Parth Arjun. What? Pashyaitan, see, Samavetan, all have gathered. Who? Kuruniti. All Kurus are assembled here in this battlefield. O Arjuna, see all of them. Okay. Now, what one more action Krishna does? Krishna तो राम कैसे एकदम सीधा है ना, कुछ भी करो, राम will perfectly behave, you will not find a single fault. But कृष्णा को मालूम है वो त्रेता युग था, ये द्वापर है, कलियुग is going to come, and people have already started behaving in the end of Dwapar Yuga as if they are already in Kali Yuga. So teaching people like us cannot be with the example of Lord Ram. It has to be with the example of Krishna. टेढ़ी उंगली करके घी निकालेगा, right? So what is he doing? Arjun has only requested him to bring the chariot in between the middle of the armies. उसने ये नहीं बोला कहाँ पे लाके रखो. Arjun forgot to give that specification. So Krishna took advantage of that. इधर लाया उसने chariot. इधर लाया in the front of Bhishma and Drona. Why? Because a very, very critical reason comes here, not blessings. Yes. No, blessing is not the reason here. Now, to purposely make Arjun weak. What would Arjun think? अरे ये तो मेरे grandfather है, अरे ये तो मेरे teacher है, मैं इनके साथ कैसे fight करूंगा? Right? Yeah, exactly. Right? So this is precisely what he is doing. He could have brought it in front of Duryodhan, so that anger आ जाएगा, or even before the conch shell is drawn, he can start blowing the. But नहीं करता है वो वैसे. Why? Why? We spoke about this. Nee, why did he does that? Why did he do that? Bring him in front of Bhishma, and why did he not bring in front of Duryodhana?
Looking for important.
No, because
Strongest.
no. The reason why we all have gathered here to study Bhagavad Gita, which was being spoken there. तो भगवान को एक opportunity create करनी है. तो if he were to bring it in front of दुर्योधन, चालू war वहीं पे चालू हो जाता. भगवद गीता कभी बोलेंगे. So that Arjun feels weak, he loses his confidence, he develops that lack of clarity, illusion. A lot of these questions come to his mind. He asks those questions to Krishna. Krishna gets the opportunity to speak Bhagavad Gita, makes him a strong fighter, and teaches all of us Bhagavad Gita. That is the reason why that chariot was drawn in front of Bhishma and Drona. Yeah, it's a very important. So which is very important to know. So the point to be understood here is, many times we think spiritual knowledge, especially, it is not like material knowledge. ये अगर कोई मूवी होती, let's say धुरंधर, 3 घंटा हम लोग बैठते, okay, without person one explaining person two, both of them will equally understand. Spiritual knowledge cannot be understood by yourself. You cannot just take Bhagavad Gita, read all the 100, 200, 500 pages and say, yes, now I have mastered Bhagavad Gita. It is impossible. Yeah, that is Yudhishthir, not Arjun. And that is B.R. Chopra's version. So, actually, I wouldn't say that has not happened, but especially B.R. Chopra's version has given many things which have actually not happened, and not given many things which have actually happened. But at the outline, it communicates what Mahabharata is. That's a job very well done. Okay. So this is what has happened now. Okay. Now let's see what he does. Okay. Yes. Who wants to read? You want to read? Okay, read.
Then Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies in both parties, his fathers, his grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends and outsiders, fathers-in-law, and well-wishers.
Now, who is speaking this?
Sanjay.
And he is communicating or narrating what Arjuna is saying. Okay. So all of these are important only from the perspective of the variety of relatives, the variety of relationships that is being seen by Arjun here. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, you want to read?
Son of Kunti, Arjuna saw all of these different grades of friends and relatives. He became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
So now the turning point of Bhagavad Gita has come. Arjuna is there in front of Bhishma and Drona, in between both the armies, and the compassion has been generated. And now he starts speaking. Okay. An extremely important point to be understood is there are people who misrepresent Arjuna's position, Arjuna's situation by saying Arjun to dar gaya tha. Okay. You will not see a single word like fear in any of these verses. What you will see here is compassion. Compassion is usko daya aa gayi, uska dil naram ho gaya. It doesn't mean it is fearsome situation, right? Even now in the 46th verse and in the first verse of the second chapter where Sanjay speaks, there also he uses the word compassion. Hmm? His eyes became teary because of compassion, right? We feel sorry, no? When we see some very wrong thing happening, our eyes become teary. We are not fearful of the situation. So that is what is now there. So it's around 5 o'clock now. Maybe we can stop now and we can continue from verse number 28, where Arjuna will start giving his reasons. Okay. Maybe in the next class, what we can do is we can go up to verse number 10 of second chapter, where Arjuna has asked all his questions and now the superhero is ready to speak. Hmm? वैसा करते हैं. Is the space okay? Is it too deep? Is it too less? Huh? Hmm? Fine. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.